Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob, also known by my Wiccan title of Lord Ision. I have a lot of titles actually. I'm Lord Ision when I'm doing Wiccan stuff. And then when I'm British formal functions, I'm Lord Paravel, as I hold a barony. I'm the Baron of Paravel. And sometimes I'm just Psychic Bob, and sometimes I'm just called, hey, you crazy man. So I guess I get around. It's so good to be here with you guys tonight. Well, how are you guys, huh? Welcome to Wednesday. It's Wiccan Wednesday. And if you're new here, let me introduce myself again. I'm Bob Hickman. I'm a full-time professional psychic medium, an astrologer, and I'm also a Wiccan high priest, and I'm head of the Order of the Silver Star. Baroness Kolobobs is the high priestess of the Order of the Silver Star, and she's here tonight also as our moderator. So we are just hanging out. It's been a kind of a busy day for me. I've had a lot of client calls coming in, and I did some readings. And
Skyclad for you, Bob.
Oh, and Baroness decided to do a skyclad ritual. No, we didn't do that. We're just playing. But you know, it's so cool to broadcast from here. If it were nice out tonight, it's been mild all week, but it's pouring down rain tonight and cold. I was going to film this outside, so I'm not going to be able to film it outside. But we are in the next few days going to take you to some amazing historical witch sites here. But for right now, because of the weather and we're getting over being sick, we're inside. So I'm sorry, my plans for tonight were to do a live broadcast from the Glastonbury tour. But we discovered the other night that the tour is locked at night. So we can't get there, and we can't get to the Abbey ruins. They lock everything up at night here. So anyways, we didn't get to go where I was going to go. But I'm glad to be with you guys. You know, today is it's Wiccan Wednesday. I've been wearing my newest piece of Wiccan jewelry. And I got to show this to you. Some of you may, I don't think I've shown this to you yet. This is a brand new sterling silver pentacle. It's massive. I bought it down at the Goddess and the Green Man. It's pure silver. It's an interlaid silver star, but it's really nice because it's thick. I don't know if you can see how thick the silver is. You can find silver stars around, but I haven't been able to find one this size and this quality of silver. So hopefully you can see that. Isn't that amazing? So yeah, my newest Wiccan jewelry, and I'm wearing that. How do you like that? Huh? All right, there we go. You can get a sense of it. All right. Well, you know, while I was down at the... Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, this was one of Cola's Christmas gifts. Well, actually, both of these are. So I got her that silver moon. Okay, isn't that beautiful? And then I got her also this silver goddess or priestess drawing down the moon. It's the drawing down the moon sign. I don't know if you guys can see that, done in sterling silver. So Cola's got on her jewelry, and I got on mine. We are in our witch mode here. Here, go ahead and put this back on. Cola. Hold on a second. Here, put that back on. So we are having a great night, and I want to share with you. I thought tonight I'd show you a few of my treasures that I got. Do a little bit of reading from some of these books I've picked up. Talk about what witch life is like here in Glastonbury. I see we got a lot of people here. There's Amy Radcliffe. There's Robert Stevens. There's Sandra D is here. There's Baroness Kolobobs, our moderator. Everybody give a thumbs up and shout out to her for wonderful work. There's Stardust C. Yeah, there's Melinda Tournay. Melinda says, hi, Psychic Bob. Hi, Baroness. You sound a little better today. I hope the Baroness Kolobobs is doing better also. Thank you. We're both doing much, much better. My strength is starting to return. I'm feeling ambitious. There's Scott from South Carolina. Scott says, I bet Lamb Chop will be wearing that necklace, and he's probably going to steal both of our jewelries. But Cola said she's going to steal my pinnacle before Lamb Chop steals it. I can get you one like this, honey.
I've got one bit on that, Bobs.
Yeah, okay. Well, there you go. There's Sandra D is here. I love this pinnacle.
That's what you
There's Lady Jane of the Earl Grey Tea Tribe. Blessings to you. All right. Sandra says, just dropped off my daughter at the airport. She's going to Germany and then next week to Ireland. So sad today. I miss her already. Oh, Sandra, she's going to be fine. You may remember I told you in one of the messages show it's her destiny to go there. So she's following her destiny. But I know what it's like to miss people. I really do.
Yeah, you miss me every day, don't you?
I do. I miss Cola. Even though I'm in England now, I still miss Cola. If she goes outside and smokes a cigarette or goes over to the store, and I like feel lost without her.
Or if I go in the shower.
If she goes in the shower, I'm like waiting. I'm like, oh, where'd she go? I miss seeing her. I know I'm terrible. I just, I can't help it. I have a little soft spot for Cola. What can I say?
I'm saying nothing else.
All right. There's Danielle Morris here. Daniel Moore. Hey, Daniel. Hello. Love, it's been a long while. Been doing a lot of work on self. Very good, Daniel. That's impressive. Well, Wicca is one of these religions where we're called to be self-reflective, to be self-aware. I don't think you're going to make it long. Not you, Daniel, just anybody, as I'm saying. Nobody's going to make it long in the Wiccan communities unless they develop self-awareness. Now, I've seen Wiccans at rituals and gatherings who are totally unself-aware. They don't last long because Wicca requires a reverence, an inner quiet. And as witches, we want to develop that inner voice. It's from the inner voice that we create magic. It's from the inner voice that we bring change into the world. We bring healing. And you can only develop the awareness of how that power works through going within. Oh, Melinda says, you guys are just too cute for words. Thank you. Cola's not going to be on camera today because she said her hair's messed up. So that's okay. We'll have her on.
I'm in bed with no clothes on.
You are not. Stop. She's a scandalous thing she's saying. Anyways, I thought I'd show you guys one of my beautiful cards I got recently. I don't know if you've seen this, but this is a picture. It's a stylized version of the Glastonbury Chalice Well. Now, in a few days, we're going to go to this famous well. This is the famous symbol that's the lid on the well. But the area where the well is looks something like this, a little different, but this is a stylized picture. And it was an ancient well where the priestesses of Avalon drew water for healing and blessing. And it was considered a sacred shrine of the goddess. Now, it's interesting because I haven't been there yet, but I've heard that it's kind of shared these days by the pagans and the Christians, that a lot of the Christians go there and honor it as a sign of Mother Mary, and that the pagans go there and honor as a sign of the goddess. As I've shown you all week, I hope you've been watching my daily videos. If you didn't know about it, every morning I'm putting out an early morning video, and in the evening we're doing our regular live shows. But as I've been showing you the last few days, there's a lot of shops that have goddess symbols in them, either Virgin Mary or the pagan goddesses. And it's really big here. So the Chalice Well really inspires a lot of divine feminine energy. And we will be going to see that. I came all the way here for that, but just everything's been getting in the way between the holiday, being sick, and then the weather. But that's all right. I still love it. And in my day-to-day videos, I'm giving you guys kind of a feel for what it's like just to live in a British town. I've lived in England before, so for me, life in Britain, I'm familiar with it. But a lot of you may not know what it's like to live in a foreign country and to see, so I'm trying to take you places that the locals go, not just the tourist sites. Because to really get a feel for a country, you need to go among the people and live in the community. And I'm living in the community, which makes it really nice. It brings back a lot of memories for me of what it's like to live in England. And it's inspired me to remind me why I wanted to live here all my life. So I'm having a great time. And I hope that you'll watch my daily vlogs as well. Like this morning, I went out and bought breakfast for Cole and I, and we went down and showed you where the local library was and some of the neighborhood. And we had a great time. So if you haven't seen that, definitely check that out. I got it up later than I'd planned today simply because of tech issues with the computer and the weather. We had internet issues. So, yeah, I hope you'll check it out. you know.
Shauna's got some good questions.
All right. All right. Well, we'll get there in just a minute, you know. So anyways, we will take your questions in a few minutes here, but oh yeah, Sandra D says, I wish the UK did not Brexit. I would move there in a heartbeat. Sandra, no offense to you. I understand because you could, as a German citizen, used to be able to come here. I myself personally supported Brexit because I think Britain is doing better financially on its own. That's just my personal belief. And I like Britain being independent. That's just my personal. No, I don't want to get in a political war here, but I understand what you mean. Anyway, so I thought I'd show you here a really cool book. I got these. These are locally printed books at our local witch store. This one's called The Earth Cycles of Celebration. And this talks about all the major Sabbats. It's really great. We're coming up on Imbolc in February. That's our next thing. They have a whole chapter on Imbolc. See, the artwork in these books are wonderful because they're made by local artisans who design the books and print them. Isn't that wonderful? There's the Green Man. You know, look at the picture on the back, the tree. Just really lovely stuff. I just thought you'd like to see this because this town is so witchy. As I've shown you, if you've been watching the daily videos, almost every shop puts a pentagram in their store in the front window. And now people can say, well, Bob, that's a Christmas decoration. I said, no, they keep them up year round. People have told me this. I've talked to shop owners. So when you go down, you'll know where the witches are because they put the sacred pentacle or pentagram in the window, 5-pointed star. That's how you know. And there's almost every shop here has it. So I'm really enjoying that aspect of it. Yes, so Marjana has a good question. Stardust C, she says, hold on a second. I just lost it. Here it is. Hi, Psychic Bob. How long does it take to become a Wiccan? Well, traditionally, I'm speaking traditional, it takes a year and a day to become a Wiccan. Wicca is not a religion that you instantly just convert to in 1 minute. Wiccans believe that to take on the craft as your religion, it's so sacred. And they encourage you, even if you're a solitary, to go through the entire cycle of the year, to walk through we call it the wheel of the year, because you need to understand what the Sabbats are. You need to understand what the Esbats are, the moon rituals. Wicca is not a religion you just read about. It's a practicing religion. You have to practice it for a year. So you learn how to set an altar. You learn how to do invocations. You learn how to do basic spell work. That takes time. So a year and a day. They always say a year and 1 extra day after the year for good measure. And then you can actually call yourself a Wiccan. Now, are there people who just jumped in and called themselves Wiccan? Yeah, I'm sure there are. Generally, they don't last, though, because, by working for a year and a day, you develop a reverence that helps you to embrace and to really know. During the year and a day of becoming a Wiccan, some people study with a group, like a coven. Some people study on their own. I've done both. I've been solitary and been in coven work. Each way has its drawbacks and its pluses, but either way, they ask you to try to wait a year and a day until you do an initiation. After that year and a day, they have a ritual called initiation, whether you do your own self-created ritual or you go through a coven initiation. At that initiation, you're made a first-degree Wiccan, first-degree witch. The craft is a little different than other religions in that you become a priest or a priestess upon your initiation. I've been through 3 initiations. I have a 3rd-degree high priesthood. At the 3rd degree, you're named a high priest. Most people, though, in the craft actually go through either 1, sometimes 2 initiations. But if you're going to lead a group and teach like I do, then it's encouraged you study for another year. It takes a year and a day for each initiation. So I go through a whole year and a day, and then I'm a 1st-degree Wiccan. Then I do another year and a day of studies, And then I'm a second degree initiate Wiccan. Then I do another year and a day. Then I'm a third degree. I've done the 3 years of study, so I have a third degree high priesthood. And that's the tradition. Are there people out there calling themselves high priest or high priestess who have done no study? Unfortunately, yes. Wicca is not a religion that's regulated. We don't have a central body or command. Each coven or Wiccan is autonomous unto themselves. So nobody can force you to go through the training or deny you your titles, but Wiccans will know if you're real or not. If you walk around suddenly claim you're a high priest, but you don't know how to cast a circle properly, people aren't going to really respect you. So it's one of these religions that, they say put up or shut up, right? That's kind of how it is in Wicca. You have to be able to prove what you claim, So anyways, Marjana, it takes to become a basic Wiccan, it takes a year and a day.
It may take Marjana about 5 years because she procrastinates and everything.
All right, don't say that, Colin. All right.
Oberon's still waiting for that gift.
Okay. There's Scott from South Carolina. He said the breakfast sandwich looked good today. It was really good, Scott. I couldn't eat it all, though. It's funny, like while I'm mending from being ill, I can't eat as much. And I was like hungry this morning, but I still couldn't eat a lot. But I ate about half of it. And that was good enough for me. So, Sandra, yes, it would have been easier for you to come to Britain had we still remained in the European Union. The British like their independence, though. I get it, Stardust says, you see nothing yet, Cole Bobs. I'm just warming up. Stay tuned.
She wants a partner with his box.
All right. I hope nobody's fighting here tonight.
No, she wants a comedian comical battle with us.
Okay.
All right. Get one on it.
All right. Hi, Melinda. Melinda Torty says, yeah, that breakfast sandwich so good. I'm so glad you guys are watching my daily videos because I'm trying to give you a sense of what everyday life is like in Britain. To see what, physically it looks very different than where I live. You guys have seen all where I live. And you can see how life in England looks very different. I love it here, though. I really could just stay here and never go back to America. Except I own property and have a house there and a business license. So I do have to go back eventually. But I'm liking life here, and I may just extend my time here. There's nothing that says I have to go back. I could cancel my plane ticket. It'll cost me more, but still. All right. Lady Jane says, might take Mazzy a lifetime. Oberon is still waiting for his cake. So, all right. I'm not going to get in on that. All right. Stardust says, I guess I can't watch the show. We'll have to watch the replay. I don't know why you can't watch the show. Are you all picking on? Don't start anything, please.
Yeah, man, that's my cousin Muzzy, man.
All right. Scott from South Carolina says, chocolate croissants are a habit for me. Yes, they are, especially when the bakery is literally like next door to me, and I can walk in there in 5 seconds and have fresh made stuff. I'm telling you. Call a Big Steve is in the chat.
Yeah, I'm watching him.
All right. Blink on. Hi, Steve. We're not doing blinking meditation tonight, but you're welcome to join us. And we're all very respectful to each other here, okay? So, Lady Jane says they make them fresh down at the cooperative. That's where I get them, Lady Jane, at the cooperative. Fresh made croissants in the morning. There's nothing like it. And the British tea, I don't care what anybody in America says. The tea in Britain is different than what you get in America. I buy American tea and I buy British tea, and they're not the same. The British tea is much heartier blend. It's more like coffee is in America, the tea is in Britain. Scott from South Carolina has an interesting question. He says, Bob, does your energy feel different there given all the deep history on the land? Yes, Scott. Let me tell you, one of the things, and I haven't really been able to express this in my vlog, is that you have a sense when you're walking around of the ancientness of the land. Like, I feel like I have these moments where it's like, there's like a time warp, and I can feel like the people of King Arthur's time almost being present at the same time. It's like we're crisscrossing dimensions. And this town particularly has a lot of ley lines and activity. We're going to show you more of that when the weather permits, because I'm going to take you to the places to demonstrate this. But yes, it's definitely a totally different energy in here. Cole and I have been experimenting with, there's a lot of earthbound spirits also in the area. We've been doing exploration on that as well. So there's definitely, England's a much more haunted country than the United States. The other night I was washing dishes, and I haven't got to tell you this, literally a spirit walked like physically up to me. I thought it was Cola because I was washing dishes, and the spirit came up like on behind me, and I was like, what? And then it moved to I literally saw like a gray shadow woman. And I thought it was Cola. I said, Cola, what do you do? And then I stopped, and Cola was across the room sitting on the sofa. So I did experience that. It was pretty shocking. It doesn't scare me. It's just fascinating, though,
Bobs, you were crapping yourself on night on that part.
I was not.
Yes, you were.
I was not overwhelmed.
Yes, you did.
All right. Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, which food is better, American or English? I think English food is better. I'll tell you why. I feel like they use purer ingredients. The food here isn't processed like as much as American food. A lot of American food is processed. Tonight, I got a fresh-made lasagna. The co-op does gourmet food setups. And I got a fresh-made lasagna that we cooked in the oven that was fresh-made today. And Cola got a fresh-made spaghetti bolognese. That's what we had for dinner. And it was way better. There's nothing in America like this. Everything's frozen and processed. They make fresh stuff. You can get a lot more fresh stuff in England. It's been my experience. The fruit here is really good. Oh, the apples are delish. I don't know. I just like it. Yeah, there's Robin Boston. Hey, Robin, good to see you. Yeah, you joined us tonight. Thank you. So, oh, Christine says, she says, maybe she was shocked to see a man doing dishes. Probably so. I don't mind doing dishes. Like, I enjoy doing that. Like, I'm one of these people that don't hate doing laundry. I hate doing dishes.
You like doing dishes, Bobs?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's cool. Then you can do them others.
But I like a break sometimes from dishes too. Anyways, Cole and I have been good. We split up the chores nicely here. It works out good for us. Okay, thank you, Stardust. Stardust said that the show was jamming up. But I was going to show you, as I was saying, this book that I got. I want to read a little bit about Imbolc and just give you kind of some insight on that. We just actually had winter solstice. Look at this beautiful winter solstice picture. Isn't that beautiful? That's Stonehenge. We're hoping to go to Stonehenge at some point.
Next stop, Stonehenge.
Yeah, that's where we're going next, Stonehenge. So you guys are in for a treat when we go to see that, Actually, let me just read about it. Even though we're a little past it now, we're still kind of in solstice season until Imbolc. I believe that the Sabbats, that's the Wiccan holidays, are not just one day. They have one day they're celebrated as the main event, but you're in a season of that Sabbath. So we're still technically in winter solstice. So let me just read a little bit from this book for you guys. This is winter solstice, 21st through the 23rd of December. Winter quarter point, shortest day, longest night, midwinter, Yule, return of the sun, festival of rebirth. It says the sun enters the sign of Capricorn as her rays shine directly at their southern extreme for the year. In the northern hemisphere, the shortest day and longest night, here the great cosmic wheel stops and begins again, a new cycle of increasing daylight and warmth. Under the underlying energy, the festival is not a beginning in a linear sense, but part of a cycle. Deep within the earth and ourselves, roots have been growing, bringing stability. The outer world has darkened, and the inner realms can expand. But here there is a challenge in direction. From now on, the days will lengthen. Being part of this cycle means that we can bring our inner wisdom out of the dark unconscious to grow with the increasing light. It is a time to birth our visions, name our dreams, and make our resolutions for the coming months. Winter solstice is an opportunity to come out of hibernation, be loving, generous, and sociable. Celebrate each other and being alive. The old year has died, and the way is now prepared for the rebirth of activity and expansion into the outer world. Isn't that beautiful? So that's a little bit from this book. This is a local printed witchcraft book. This is what is the thing you'll find about Glastonbury is the people make their own stuff locally. And it's like, I can't just go buy this at Amazon. I mean, maybe I can now. Maybe they sell it there, but I've never seen it. And I just bought it at the local shop. No other shops have it because this shop that I shop at prints it. Isn't that wonderful? So, this is the cool thing. You can come get all these little books. The other book that I bought, which won't start till January, is I bought a Moon Diary, 2023 Moon Diary. And what this does, it gives all the lore of the moon for 2023, and it gives a calendar with spell work and different rituals and meditations to do every day of the year. So you can practice magic a little bit every single day. Isn't that wonderful? So we'll have more about that as we get into January. But I'm telling you, it's really just beyond belief. I don't even know how to express it. To be in a town with so many like-minded souls, like I feel like I really fit in here. Because where I live, it's so conservative. I mean, I tell you guys have known, just walking around my pinnacle sometimes gets me yelled at by the public. Here, nobody would even think twice or even dare to breathe a word against you because they know this is a witch town. If you ever wondered about witch town, this is a witch town, I'm telling you. It may be similar to Salem. I've not been to Salem, Massachusetts. Curious if any of you been to Salem, Interesting. Robin Boston says, find out if there is less cancer in England. I feel like we have so much cancer due to processed food. I eat very little processed food. Robin, I'm terrible about processed food. And I just find like the options. I don't know what the cancer rates are, but I bet you there's statistically the percentage is lower because you can eat healthier in the United Kingdom. The milk is better than American milk. The tea is better. The water I drink tap water. People say, hey, don't drink the tap, but the tap water is delicious to me. I like it. It's so cold and refreshing, especially here in Glastonbury, the water is all purified, Lady Jane says, yeah, my sister is from Salem. Salem, England or Salem, Massachusetts?
That isn't the Salem in England, but
I don't know. Oh, there's Scott from South Carolina says, I've been to Salem. Took the whole family a few years back. Really, Scott? That's kind of cool. I'll be interested to hear your experiences there. I'm wondering if Salem is a lot like Glastonbury, if they're really different. I have to tell you, my experience of the craft here in Glastonbury from the people I meet and talk to in the shops, it's a more ancient craft. It's like they're really tied into the ancient pagan roots because this country had a pagan population during the rise of Christianity. Whereas the United States is so new, the people that arrived were all pretty much Christians. And we don't have an ancient pagan culture that existed on the land. I mean, I suppose you could count the Native Americans, but I'm saying an ancient European culture that we descend from. In North America, it's unless you're Native American, there is no pagan past, really, for the USA. And in Britain, there is. Like, you can find standing stone circles in different places and pagan symbols carved in buildings here that go back to 1200 and before. It's pretty amazing. It's very different here, you know. Robin says, I bet it's better there. You know, Robin, I just have to tell you in all honesty, and I love my country, but I can see myself living here and never coming back. I feel so much happier here and peaceful. You know about...
He loves his cola so much he doesn't want to leave her.
Then I don't want to leave cola. That's true. So, you know, it's been a great experience here. I've been very happy in England. And I just think it offers a lot, you know. Now, that doesn't make me anti-American because I still love my country. But many of you know my struggles with living in the United States, and I won't go into those. I find those struggles are far, far less here in the United Kingdom. That's all I'll say about that. You know. There's my sister's keeper. Hey, Bob, in chat. Hello, sister's keeper. Welcome. Melinda Tornay says, take her with you. You know, Cole and I have talked about it. I just don't think America's where either of us really ultimately belong. I mean, we may go to America.
No offense to any Americans, but like a lot of them are quite whacked. And that's like one girl who is totally off a rocker. And then it makes me think, ooh.
Oh, Robin, at some point I will come back to America. I own a home there. You know, so I still own property in the U.S. and bank accounts and all of that, and my business licenses and all. So I'm never going to abandon America. But I really kind of feel in my future a lot more of my life will be out of Britain. I hope it will. We're exploring that, you know.
Don't worry, Bob. I'll come with you.
Yeah, Cola wants to see America. I still would like her to come see America. I just don't think she's going to be happy there ultimately living there. You know. But that's all right. I mean, I'm kind of a both worlds, you know. I'm a British baron, so I have a place in society here in a way that I don't in the United States. And that's special to me. And yes, and Lady Jane just says, psychism is up and coming here in England. It's becoming very popular. Yes, spirituality is much more explored here. It's so interesting because in this town, you literally walk down the street and people are walking down the street having these open conversations like, oh, I went to see this healer and he channeled Maitreya's energy, you know, and it's like people just openly talk about it. And that bookstore where I bought Cola's book, by the way, Scott, Cola is loving your book. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, let me get it. I want to see everybody see this. Hold on a second. I'll get it. Where'd you put it over here?
It's with my tarot cards.
The other night, Scott was so kind. He sent a donation to the show for Cola because she does so much work and she really does. And Scott, I wanted to let you see it a little better than on the video. This is the book that Cola got. John D. It says, and the Empire of Angels, Enochian Magic and the Occult Roots of the Modern World. Look how thick this book is. And the money, Scott said, Scott, you sent the exact amount that this book cost. Covered everything, tax and all. So we were really touched. Like that was like so psychic because a few days before Scott did that, we were at the store and Cole's like, I want that book. But the store was closed because of Christmas. And we said, well, we won't get it for a few days. And then that night, Scott donated the money. The very next day, the bookstore was back open. So that's why I rushed there to get this before. So I knew it would sell quickly because I only had one copy and I bought the one out of the window. So, Scott, I just want to tell you again personally, thank you for your kind support for the show. And thank you for making Cola's day so special.
Yeah, I love it. Thanks, Scott.
Do you hear? She says, thanks, Scott. So, yeah. So, this town is like amazing because you can just find anything magical here,
Michonne has left a good comment there for you. It's for Jean.
Melinda Torney says, you go where you are happy. I'm very happy in England. I've always felt like I fit in better here than the U.S. But I mean, America has a lot of wonderful things too. So I don't want to ever totally forget America. But
Michonne's getting cheeky, isn't she?
Oh, Majana says, hey, Lady Jane, I guess Cola Bob's has Psychic Bob trained well. He knows how to do dishes and laundry. She got me on my leash. What can I say? I just do whatever whatever mistress says. That's what we got to do. Probably, Marjana. It's probably true.
Excuse me, I've done your laundry today for you.
Stardust C says, hey, Psychic Bob, are the British people better than Americans? I don't know. I think both cultures have wonderful things. One of the things in America that, I was explaining to Cole is that people are a lot more easier to approach in America. British, it's a little more formal in that way. But in this town, actually, people are pretty much more like Americans than I've ever seen British people act like. I think both cultures are great. I love being an American, but I consider myself a British citizen as well, even though I'm not legally a British person, don't hold a passport yet. I mean, do hold a British title, and that gives me some ranking here government-wise. Because I am actually a British baron, a legally recognized by the government nobleman. Scott says, you're welcome, Bob. I'm so glad. Robin Boston, in order to raise consciousness and save the world, people need to be more open to the way they live and talk openly. I agree. That's one of the things, Robin, like you literally walk down the street here and hear the most fascinating conversations. Like I heard a lady there, they say, oh yes, I went to a healer and they attuned all my chakras and it was amazing. And I felt so much better. I actually went and had a healing session with a lama, a Buddhist lama. It's literally near us. There's a center. I wasn't able to film it. The guy wouldn't let me interview him. He's very shy. And he's like, oh, you can't film in the center. And sorry, I can't do interviews. And I was really disappointed because he was doing crystalline grid energy work with me. And he put me in a giant pyramid. It would have been a great video. And I couldn't film it. He wouldn't let me bring my camera in to film it. So I had to leave my camera in my coat. But I was inside this giant copper pyramid. And I was holding these crystalline wands that had pyramids built in. And this power was going through me. And Cola can testify. My health has improved since then, hasn't it, Cola?
Yeah. Oh, it's been so much better.
Yeah. So I don't know what he did, but they channeled energy through the crystalline grid and the pyramid. I'm a believer. I went into a little skeptical. I mean, I believe in healing power, but this was something I'd never seen and I wasn't really familiar with it. I thought, well, we'll give it a try. I'll just be open-minded. Why not? And something happened. I'm doing so much better. So I'm a believer. I'm going to take Cola over there for her to have a session. Maybe next time he'll let me film it if I keep pressing him a little bit. But the Lama was really nice. He channels energy from Maitreya, the coming Buddha. Scott says the British can have dual citizenship. Yeah, I think America's allowing it too, Scott. It used to be you couldn't, but I know some Americans that hold both. So I may be able to get both. We'll see. Melinda Tony says that would have been a great PR for him and his store. Yeah, I know. The other shops in town have given me permission to film. They know who I am. And I tell them who I am. They look at me. I'm like, oh my God, please film in my store because it will bring them a lot of visibility. I don't think this man understands who I am and how much it could help him because between you guys and I really like him, but he needs a little extra financial help at that center, and I could do a lot for him if he'd let me. But anyways, I had a great healing session. I'm a believer. I'll definitely go back and have another session. And his session was only 10 pounds, which is about 12 American dollars right now. So I can't complain. So anyways, but I also want to, if you have any Wiccan questions, feel free to ask, There's Tasha Phipps says, have been watching every day, but on another profile and comments still not showing up. Oh, I thought we got that fixed, Tasha.
We're going to have to check again, Bobs.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with that.
See what's going on.
Well, thank you for your watching. I don't know what's going on. We'll look again. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're here. Welcome. So, but I think it's so important. This is one of the things I used to see is Americans would travel. I'm not saying all Americans, but one of the things that used to embarrass me is I'd be in England and see Americans acting really rude and making a lot of noise and being full of themselves. And I think when you travel, you have to be reverent of the culture you're in, the time and the place. I try to behave respectfully and represent the U.S. well when I'm here.
So, make America proud, Bobs.
That's right. Make America proud. That's what Cola said. So, but, as I tell you, we'll have more. I'll take you to more amazing places soon because we have a lot to see. I wanted to take you to the Goddess Temple, but I don't think I can film in there. But I took you to the outside, but that's when they have festivals at the Goddess Temple. People gather. There's the little temple. It's in the upper room. Really nice. And the other day I took you see that picture right there where my finger is? That's the Goddess House. That's a larger retreat center that they built. They kind of outgrew this little center up here, and now they also do stuff here.
I think they do hand fastings and stuff.
Yeah, they do meditation retreats, healings, hand fastings. You can rent it out for your own events. It's really nice, Hi, Ramona. Welcome. Ramona is here, 9954. Thank you, Tasha. Tasha says, I love the horoscopes this week. Thank you, Bob. Namaste. You're welcome. Thank you. I love astrology. It's my passion. And so it's fun, to be able to go anywhere and still be able to do what I love to do. I'm amazed, because in the past, we wouldn't have been able to bring you all of this, but now I can work wherever I am, Melinda Torney says, I would love a healer. My chakras are all screwed up. I think my butt chakra is in my head, and my head is in my... Well, Melinda, you're not alone. I think some days I'm there myself. Seriously, Melinda, I wish you could come to this healing center. I'm going to ask him if he does at distance sessions. Maybe there's a way to do that. But I really think with this type of healing, it's best to be in person because when you're in he's got these massive pyramids. They're like 8-foot high pyramids with crystals like inlaid in them. And you go under them and you sit in these chairs and you recline and it's amazing. And then you hold these crystalline wands. There's just all this energy flow. It's pretty amazing. All I can say is I did a healing session. And it's immensely helped me, because my body's just been out of sorts and I slept well the last 2 days, So I'm a big believer in it. So, Tasha, weird stuff's going on with my channel. That's all I can say. It may not be me or you. It may be a third party causing this. I'm looking into it. Hi, Robert. Robert says, have a good night. Are you leaving us, Robert, or are you just arriving? Well, if you're leaving, have a wonderful night. Thanks for stopping by. Well, I'm glad you guys have joined us tonight. And, just keep watching. We'll have some more adventures. Depending on the weather tomorrow, we'll go out on the town again for a little while. I found out that the fish and chip shop that I was going to take you guys to for lunch just closed. They're under renovation for a few weeks. So I don't have a local fish and chip shop. If there's another one, I've got to find it. So that kind of sucks. But maybe we'll go to breakfast again in the morning. That cafe where I went had a lot of good stuff. So I might slip over there again and see what they have. Robin Boss says, I would love to have a healing session like that. Robin, these sessions are pretty amazing. I must tell you. I only wish I could film them. It annoys me because it would have been a very cool film. Unfortunately,
sacred, isn't it?
Well, it's sacred, but it would not discredit it or disrespect if it were done respectfully. But a lot of the shops here in Glastonbury don't let you film either. Some do, some don't. The ones I shop at regularly know me and they said, bring your camera in any time. But there are other shops where they're like, nope, no cameras. And I get it too. Not everybody's interested in publicity. So Scott from South Carolina says, the prince likes bangers and mash. Which prince? Prince William, Prince Henry, Prince Harry, Prince. We got a lot of princes. Could be any of them. I need to have some bangers and mash. Cola, can you make me bangers and mash for breakfast?
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Cola says she can make it. Prince William, he says. Okay, yeah, I've heard Prince William likes that. That sounds good. Do you know here you can get fresh sausages, like fresh made sausages? And I bought them the other day for Cola to cook, and they were great. We had them at the Christmas dinner. Tasha says, Cole, you'll have to take him to Whitby's weekends. I don't know that, but I'll have to look around. Ew, don't eat the bangers. Ew. I thought bangers were sausages.
No.
I don't know. It doesn't sound so bad. I like
But
sausages.
also fireworks as well.
Okay. Well, anyways, I'll have more culinary delights to share with you guys as we move through. Cole and I were so out of it on Christmas, we forgot to eat our Christmas trifle. I bought us a big custard and cream and strawberry trifle. We had to throw it in the trash today. Oh, because it only lasts so many days. It's very short-lived food, and we couldn't eat it, and then we had to throw it out. Oh, I had to waste all that money. And it was like 14 pounds, I think.
You heard me, Sean. No. The English has improved. Now I can finally understand you.
Cola's learning to speak American English a little bit, too.
Yeah, I need to get some herbs.
There you go.
From your water.
Well, anyways, guys, I think I'm going to wrap it up here. It's late, and I've got a full day of work tomorrow. But I want to thank you guys for being here, joining us. I've had a lot of fun. So tomorrow morning, you'll see a video. We'll have another morning video. Maybe we'll go get some breakfast or something fun. But thank you for joining us. You guys are the best. PsychicBob loves you. Lord Ision sends his blessings. And let me give you a witch's blessing. In fact, we'll use my pentacle to bless you. All right, so everybody here gets a blessing. Here this pentacle I lay for blessing and protection by night, by day. So mote it be. May all of you go into the night with the blessing of this great and powerful silver pentacle. So mote it be. So mote it be. All right, guys, we'll see you back here tomorrow. And until then, may all of you always blessed be.